This is SPY on the 5-minute time frame. Here are your price targets for Friday. We ended the day at 605.04, up 0.54%. We are at resistance and the middle of the trend. The next leg up takes us to roughly 609.15. Above that, 610.99. And at 4 standard deviations, that would take us to roughly 613, but do not hold your breath. I do not anticipate we get to this level on Friday, but if we do, you know what's going to happen. To the south side, one level of support and a potential buy-in area, 601.49. It's also a potential stop-loss area, as well as this line, -2 standard deviations, 599.60, and then back to an area we've been before at roughly 597.83. Looking left, I turned on the buy and sell bot just so that you could see. As we hit this line right here, so close enough here, here, that triggered the buy bot, and that is support. If we are here and we get to this level, this is resistance, and then that sell line is triggered, falling back down and making another attempt, and then we didn't quite make it up to this line, and then we sold off back down to support, thus the buy signal. And then down here as well. We have a gap that should close on Friday. That will take us to roughly 607.35. That opened up on Monday the 27th. It's been a while since I've looked at this. This gap closed to the downside. This was an anticipated move, taking us to roughly 603, and then let me show you. We did gap down. Let me move this out of the way. See, we touched here and then we gapped down hard, and then that triggered, well, it didn't come on right there because that was just the wick. But anytime we hit a wick, you can bet it's going to run up. But if it's up here and there's a wick, it'll fall down. Price will fall. Then we have this move, also anticipated to the south side. 598.27, and then this gap is still in play to the downside at roughly 592.49, a better entry point than today's price at 605.04, or where we are now. And then this one will take us down to 582.29, but right now we are in an upward channel on the 5, and that one touched, and that is done. Then we've got other gaps to deal with. Not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close, just something to be aware of. And then we've got this one as well. I'll drag that. It's so tiny that normally I don't bother with these. It's just at least I know it's there, and we could retrace to those levels. And on the daily, the RSI is turning up. We've got room to go to the upside before we're overbought, means expensive. So we are at 605.04. That's this line right here. And if we make it to the next target up, that will wipe out that gap, which is right here. But if you don't play the gaps, the deviations will wipe it out anyway. No big deal. 611.06. And to the south side, -2 standard deviations in a clear area of support, 590.66, and that would wipe out this gap. All right, now let me go to IBM. That was a runner for today. Since I'm on the daily, I'll just show you what's happening. We are overextended here, so watch out. We could go higher and then fall back in line because it will not continue to run up forever. It's not going to happen. That's not how it works. Don't think it's going to. The highest we've ever made it on the daily, it looks like, is this level. 288. So we're not there yet. It hasn't started to turn into like a bell shape and then fall down, but it will. Trust. And on the daily, look at this. We are completely overextended, almost hitting 3 standard deviations. You know what happens. We are at resistance. People will take their profit and they will run. They will lock in and they will leave you. To the north side, 265.01, and then in the bigger picture, 277.46. To the south side, 227.50. That's all I'm going to give you. And the 1-year price target is now, let's say we made it up to 243 off of earnings, right there. So the earnings per share we beat, but the revenue coming in at 17 point, wait a minute. How is that down? Oh, that's duh, 17.56 billion, and that's what the word on the street, that's what they anticipated. The company did not deliver, brought it in at 17.55 billion, but still that's nothing to cry about. So 243 is right there, 243.31. So now the next target will be 280. That's a big gain here. Let me see something. Oh, that's another 8.41%, but I don't know. I don't like to buy high and then buy higher. I would wait for it to, this is how I like to play, for a pullback, because we're going to get one, no doubt, and then get in again for the next leg up. Now on the 5, which is where I like to give you your price targets just for action here. So we ended the day at, 258. And let me just hit the coordinates. 258.27. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, wait, no. Let me try this again. This here is the gap, and that is going to be in green. This one is going to be in purple. I like to color code everything. Okay, so there we are. To the north side, one level of resistance will take us to 269.97, 278.47, and 286.97. To the south side, 253.38, 236.25, 226.93, and roughly 219.25. This used to be the middle of the trend, which is now turned into support. And just for giggles, while I'm here, since I don't know when I'm going to look at this one again, that is now the middle of the trend. And if we fall from here to here, that will be support, and anticipate a bounce off of that. Or if we go sideways, to go down. We could kind of hover around this area for a while. So this gapped up, so it's going to fill to the downside. And because I like to play it a little bit more conservatively, I would wait until this gap to the south side fills and put a buy order possibly down here. But sometimes you never hit that area and then you miss that opportunity, but I don't care. There are just so many other opportunities. This is going to be red, and that will take us down to 229.39 roughly. All right, look how we just went sideways, consolidated. Anytime you see a consolidation move in this direction here like this, you know there's going to be a massive explosion to the upside, and that's what happened. But look at that on the monthly. That'll be a huge explosion there. Let's look at this on the daily so I can clean up my chart here. Oh, there was a big gap here that closed. See, I haven't tracked this, and that closed. So oh no, it filled. Oh wait, no. There we go. So we gapped down. And so I expect it to fill to the upside. We did there on Friday the 29th. That opened up on the 24th. And then this one closed to the upside at roughly 183.47. Apparently on March 11th, when I looked at price, we were at $191.73. Today we're at $257.27. Look at that. And you're thinking, IBM? What the heck? Yep. So fact of the day, IBM shares surged nearly 13%, positioning the company as the top performer on the Dow and the second best on the S&P 500 after the release of its fourth quarter earnings, which exceeded expectations. So what is happening here? There's a little cluster going on here. Oops. Command Z if you want to redo that. So we gapped up. I need to change the color to red. That will take us down. Oh, I used to give out 3 levels of targets and then I would mark it. So that's what this is, these 2 numbers. So let me just delete that. I don't mark out my chart that way anymore. But unfortunately, I'm on the daily, so it's not going to line up with the 5-minute, but just for giggles, I'll put it here. This closed to the upside at 141.22 when I talked about it on... Oh, no, I didn't talk about it. I talked about it down here. We went down to 137.16 on Friday, October 23. I did a chart. Wow. All right. Let's delete that. That took us down to 139.89. Delete. What is this red one? I don't know. Let me just get rid of it. Turn it into a cluster here. Okay, I guess I did a chart here and I did a chart here on the 20th of October. And then, oh, what's happening here? I need to erase that. So we gapped down. I marked it out on the 5, but just roughly. That took us up to 139 or 138.94-ish, give or take. And then what else is happening? I don't use the bot to buy and sell. If you want confirmation, just for giggles, I turn it on to see, but I'm just showing this so that you can, what is this? I guess I tracked this when it was $127. Gap fill, yep, it sure did right there. I don't need a question mark anymore because it sure did. All right, you can see how many times I've marked this out. Oh, apparently I tracked the price here too on the 24th. So let me move that over. I'll clean that up for my M chart. But now let's go to the 5-minute and take a look at the bottom of my leaderboard. 114.90 is where we ended for UPS. This is looking more attractive to me. The 52-week low is 109.62. Not too far off, but all right, your targets. Since I don't know when I'm going to mark this out again, I'll just do that at 116.53, 129.35, 135.35, and 141.76 to the south side. 103.71, 97.40, and not likely to hit this level, $90.99. But we are in a downward channel. I'm only giving you 1 day's price action, which is Friday, and if we continue to go down, then obviously these outer bands could get reached. But look at this consolidation sideways, and then look, a huge drop off of earnings. Reported $2.75 per share. The estimate was $2.53-ish. That's up 8.64%. But the money reported 25.3 billion. The street expected 25.41 billion, and it tanked. But that's because people are taking profit also and getting out after earnings if they play earnings. But I'm going to look at this and possibly, why not, buy in. 147.44 is the 1-year price target. Obviously, you have to play the long game and stomach the ups and downs. 28.32%. And it would be great, I think, if UPS took over and we got rid of the post office, closed it down, unless you live in the outskirts and you live in boondocks and, well, UPS could deliver our mail, and get rid of the bloated bureaucracy that is the Postal Service. Use Amazon, all these other vendors. We don't need the government to do it. But the government should figure it out with UPS for that service, I think. That's just my opinion. All right. Oh, I don't know if I've looked at this. Oops, I don't want to look at this on the weekly. I want to look at this on the daily. Still going down as well. All right. When I looked at this on May 23rd of 2024, we are at 139, bleeding out here, people, bleeding out. So this is the middle of the trend from the 5-minute, but again, you're going to get different buy and sell signals. So to the north side takes us back to 123.58, another leg down, 113.09, 107.61, and roughly 101.83. Oh, look at this. Look at this gap fill. Where did it line up? Let me mark this out. Okay, we gapped up. So then, and that happened on Friday the 30th. What? Thursday, July 30 of 2020, during COVID. Everybody stayed home and shopped. And you can see that. But look at this. So we gapped up and then we ripped up. Now making our way down, just like an inverted, well, slightly U-shaped. And look at that, right on cue, we touched. And I'll tell you where we touched. It was a long game, though. A long game, but we did it to the south side. Not that I am saying I like to go short. I'm just telling you when there's a gap, the likelihood of it reversing to the other side to fill that gap is pretty good. So we closed down here at 124.25. And that happened 4 years later, Wednesday, August 7th. Wow. And do we have other gaps to contend with that could blow up our account to the south side? Nope, those are all done. We got a gap right here. We got a gapper. Just kidding. Well, not really, but let me show you this. Again, I don't like to mark on the daily. I like to do it as I go on the 5, but I haven't tracked this one for a while. So that went up. That will gap down. And did we close this one? Yeah, we did. Okay, that's not a threat to our account because that already closed out. So forget that one. Yeah, so go through and, oh, we've got a gap, I think, right here, taking us down into the 90s, possibly, maybe, I don't know. Got to get rid of that buy and sell signal. So do that for yourself, just so you can get an idea of where price could potentially go to. And then if you don't care, just put a buy order that low for 60 days and then just look at it periodically, set an alarm, an alert. Up, what goes up must go down. I think that's the, okay, I think that might be the last. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That will take us right here. And I'm going to show you this on the monthly, okay? Because, and let me change that to a different, let me just take that to a deeper red. Let's go to the monthly, excuse me. That's where I like to troll. So look at here. So we went sideways, up, down, grinding our way. You know, price will always slice through this line. So we are at 114 right here, 114.90. So there's this gap to the downside. 88.60 is one window. But we're at support, so we could bounce and then fall back down again. But the RSI is still going down on the monthly, so this is still going to bleed to the south side. And on the weekly, going down, and on the daily, still going down. But I'm going to keep my eye on this one and troll on the monthly. But look at this. This is the lowest we've gone. Oops. The lowest we've gone. Oh, let me delete that because I don't know what happened there. Let me change the color because I don't want purple and purple on this one. Let's just go to this one. So we've got room to hit the same level, but doesn't mean we will hit it. It could just curve, or we could slice through it and then curve back up again. But right now, price is still bleeding out, but we could have a bounce because we are at support, but we could bounce and then still grind our way down. Now, the last one I'm going to do, I actually made a video on Wednesday, and I went to save it, and I saved it somewhere in an email, and then I lost it, and I couldn't find it, and it drove me bonkers. I was so upset. I did Starbucks, DHR, and NVIDIA, and BlackBerry, Crackberry, and yeah, don't know where it is. Wasted like a half an hour doing this. Now I'm at it again. All right, on the monthly, BlackBerry going up. Oh, I don't want to show you BlackBerry. I want to do BABA. But anyway, BlackBerry's on its way up on the monthly. Let's just show you the 5, okay? And I'm going to be done with this because I got to go to BABA. All right. The last time I bought it was at 4, right here. So I'm going to set for Thursday night into Friday a limit here. I'll release this back to the company at 474. If we don't hit it, no big deal. I'm still in it for the longer haul. Okay, let's give you some price action. 439. Let me write this down so I remember that I did this, so I can do a thumbnail also. It's a lot of work. 447, 460. Not likely to get here, 467, and definitely not here, but should it, people will take their profits and they will run, they will lock in and they will leave. You know how it goes. 474 to the south side, 434, 427, and another level of support and a potential stop loss area as well, 421, depends on what side of the line you bought. This is now the middle of the trend. I will change the color to coordinate with the price. And look at resistance, sell-off, and then down here, didn't quite get to these levels because it always changes. In the morning, when you wake up, it could be at -2, but as the day goes by, that -2 has turned into almost the middle of the trend. So the price is constantly moving when you're using the linear regression. Don't forget that. I also have some at 358. All right. Now I'm going to go to BABA as BABA. All right, I got stopped. The reason I'm talking about this is I made a video to talk about earnings, and then again I had sticky fingers and it didn't load. So here is the earnings report. The Thursday, it didn't update this. Let's see. No, that's nothing. I don't want to talk about that. No big deal. You can read that yourself right there, but let me just give you the price action. 102.74. Okay, and that's the middle of the trend now. 106.81, 108.50, and 110.35. This is an old price target. 99.65. I also own, oh no, I sold my shares at 98.90. I just wanted to get out. 97.94-ish, 96.12. These are different levels of support and resistance that used to be the middle of the trend. Right now we are also in an upward channel on the 5, and we have room on the 5 to go up still. I'm going to put a buy order just maybe here at 97.99 or down here for 60 days and see if I hit it. But what had happened is when I sold this, this was actually at 2 standard deviations, and then the calculations changed. But I was supposed to change this to 103, okay? And I didn't do it. I left it at 102, which is what I had, and then we hit 103.67. Shame on me, but that's what happens when you don't stay on top of your orders. It was a sell limit that I put in. But that's okay. I was up 3.13%. That beats the bank all day long. And if you might remember, I said in 2025, I want to take more trades and I will get in and get up and get out around 2% and just have fun trading, but be robotic about it. I have tons of VTI, Microsoft, Apple, SoFi, Palantir, PayPal. Oh, I don't know. I have so many shares of other things that what I'm doing here is just trading, not necessarily day trading, but swing trading. And so I got out, and now the 1-year price target on this puppy is 120.20. So 120.20 takes us all the way up to here. I'll mark this out later. 120.20. Turn that green. All right, and looking left, just ignore all these lines. There's a gap to the south side at 86.12. Should we reverse course at any point? You know, with all the bad news about China, there's always something going to spook us and spook the market. Just like that deep seek fake out news, and then now they're saying, oh, that's not competition, it's a long ways off, it's not as strong and powerful as we think. Whatever, I don't even care. I don't even care what the news is. All I know is if you look at the chart, the news might coincide with where the price is and if we're at support and resistance. So look at this. I have not cleaned this up in so long. This gap touched to the north side here that you could have played at 83.66. We gap down for reversal. This gap to the south side is still in place. So we've got many gaps to the south side, many landmines to still be aware of. Okay, and this one, this open wound is still in play, taking us down to 81.75. I'll mark that out later. And what is happening with this gap? This gap touched here to the upside on the 17th of January. Okay, this one touched here on the 17th also. I mean, if you play these gaps, you really have to just watch it all the time. And you could just do this with 1 or 2 tickers, which is why I want to sell off just some of my things and just concentrate on a few things and just play gaps all day long. If you've got the stomach to do it. That took us down to 81.46. Then this gap, I mean, I really need to get rid of the bot, so that clogs my chart and I can't see it as well. Did that touch? It may look like it touched, but did it really? No. I'm going to say no on that one because I made my box, the outline thin. It didn't touch. No, I'm not going to give it that there. I'm going to give that a win on the 25th. Okay, so as you can see, I have many gaps to clean up. This thing is so gappy. 84.95. All right. And that does it for me. Have a wonderful Friday, and hopefully you'll make some money here. And hopefully I'll be able to upload this video without any problems and sticky fingers for you. All right. Talk to you later.